What's up, everybody? It's John and Grant, Texas Cornhole Show. Thank you for joining us today. We've got an agenda.
We do. We're ready to go. We're locked and loaded this time.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I'm amped. We had a really great weekend. The American Cornhole Organization rolled through AJ Sports this weekend, and I'm sitting next to an ACO Major champion, two-time ACO Major champion for season 19. You've won doubles, 2 out of 3 events that you've entered.
Yep, it's been a pretty cool deal, pretty cool ride. So I would say it's a emotional roller coaster going from winning 0-2 winning. It's crazy. It's but I'm glad that me and Chase got on the same page and were able to show up. And I think Chase has been a more consistent player than I have been. So it was cool. I was happy to be able to get myself right and help him out and actually be there when he needs me, you know?
Yep. And those games are on our channel. We broadcasted live from AJ's on the Texas Cornhole Show on our YouTube channel. And, you can go back and watch any of those games. I need to go back and add chapters to the video so that people can skip to like the finals, doubles finals, singles finals.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a great weekend. There were some hiccups. So we had a record amount of rainfall for April 20th on Saturday. Did you know that?
It was a lot.
It was like an inch more than we've ever had on April 20th before. And that caused some problems. Lanes got taken down. That caused issues with the bracket. So there were some problems. However, I thought it was great. I had a great time. I enjoyed streaming. I think it was the longest I've ever streamed. It was 14 hours straight of me at the booth streaming. And I liked it. I thought it was great.
And I thought you did a good job too of staying kind of high energy through the entire day.
Thanks.
Because whenever I tuned into it, it seemed like you were always actively involved, watching the games, commentating. So I thought you did a pretty good job on there.
Thank you, brother. I was trying. And I did have some caffeine. The other thing that was interesting is I did my fast. I was not eating that day, which I do every once in a while now. I'll fast for a day. And I decided that's going to be a fast day. And you think if you're not going to eat, you're going to be tired and grumpy, right?
It puts you in survival mode, though.
Survival mode, shaman mode, yep. Peace mode.
Yeah. So how was the vibe in the chat? Because you were having to conduct like the Texas Cornhole Show's chat, our normal home people, I would say, and then the ACO chat where there's probably, probably 100 people in that chat compared to 50 people in the Texas Cornhole Show chat.
Yeah, I think at peak we're at like 200, 250 between those two numbers. But I thought everybody was really friendly. The ACO chat was nice. I mean, trust me, there were several people that said some negative things and people spamming links and things like that. But overall, I thought everybody was very nice and supportive. Also, the ACO people are nice. All of the guys I dealt with were nice. I got to know who Gary Ferguson is firsthand.
Yep. Yeah.
Former king of Cornhole season 16, I believe. He was here. And that guy is a hoot. He's a lot of fun to be around. Kind of reminded me of Chad Jacobson because he likes to horse around, engage in tomfoolery and poppycock and whatnot, have a good time, try to get in the other guy's head by constantly joking around.
Right. And what's funny is these ACO guys, I think that's almost a little bit of a strategy for them sometimes because I've met a couple of them that have done that. And it's like, guys, we've had Chad Jacobson for a long time.
This is not new.
This is nothing that we're uncomfortable with. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I guess the only thing I'll add to this, because I had my experience with Gary Ferguson, it was a lot of fun. Great. I'm happy I met him. Very positive. Everything was awesome.
Yeah.
It's just you're playing with fire a little bit when you start touching people in the sense of like hand on the shoulder, pat the back when it comes to like game time,
Pretty sure I saw him slap a butt cheek of his opponent.
Probably his friend, though.
Probably knew him a little bit more than you.
Yeah, probably his friend. But this guy is by no means a bad guy, and he's awesome. He's super talented at cornhole.
Yeah, former king of cornhole.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah,
but it was cool getting to see some of the more of the personalities, I guess, in ACO is how I would describe it. Getting to see more of the personalities and some things operating. They got some good people over there. So
Yeah, I was really happy with how it all played out. I know there was a couple hiccups, but overall, I thought it was great. And they're planning on coming back, and they'll be here at AJ's again. Um, so let's go through the results really quickly. In Well, first of all, let's go blind draw. And I don't have the results pulled up in front of me. Um, and well, let's go juniors. I know juniors. Mason Higgins won, and we got to see Mason Higgins play firsthand. The kid's really good, and I noticed something about his play style. So now that I've been able to watch him play, um, it's interesting because he plays very slow bags. Did you try to throw his bags?
No.
They were the slowest bags in the house, and he goes hole for hole though. And he's not throwing blockers on purpose. He goes hole for hole, but when he misses one a little bit short, then he's got the get around games. He's got the rolls. He's got all the shots. But I thought it was interesting to watch him throw super slow bags, but he's going hole for hole. He's not trying to block. He's a kid. He's a junior, so he's under 18. He's one of the top ACO players. He was here, and it was a lot of fun to watch him. And I'm glad I did. So he won juniors. Levi Haddock came second. And then in the blind draw, I know BG won it, which is super cool.
Yeah, that is. I know in his head too, that was a redemption for the Bagmasters for sure.
Yeah, we lost Bagmasters.
We got second.
Second. And well, I say we, I wasn't on the team. My team did not do well.
You abandoned the team.
Oh, right. I was supposed to, yeah.
That is the story.
Right.
And I mean, we got to win. We got to win. We were in positions to win. We were up 20-11, or no, 19-11 to go to the King seat. Lost that game, and then we think had a little bit of rolling, and big numbers. Got to stay away from big numbers.
The team that won was also a mutt. It was not. So CBC got credit for that win. Cornslingers Bag Company. Shout out Dylan and Bill. They got credit for that W, but their team was not all CBC. They had Mason Higgins, who throws for Gusto, and others. Anyway, I'm not crying foul. I'm not calling foul. But however, it was a pretty good team with multiple different bag companies on the same team. Just saying.
I mean, I'm not.
I am.
To me, it's just crew cup. It's like
yeah.
And I think that part of it matters in the end.
We'll see, because we'll be there in Worlds and we'll have a Bag Masters team, and we'll also, I think we're gonna have one in Branson. Yeah, BG got first in blind draw. That was awesome. And then in doubles, you got first with Chase. Second was some local heroes, Beck and Watley.
Yep.
Which
East Texas guys. And
they almost double dipped you, by the way.
Damn near.
One bag away. Yeah. One mistake away from getting double dipped. I was getting nervous watching it.
I mean, because in the game, while I'm sitting there playing it, I'm not all I'm thinking about, but a big part of it's like, man, this is not the same Scott and Jacob are used to playing. They took their game up a level.
They did. They played great.
So yeah, I mean, totally great. I hope they get one done. I really do.
Yeah, and that was Watley said that was his first ACO tournament, and he got second place in doubles. And then we'll get some more of this in a second. But before we go there, Reef and BG third place. Yeah, in doubles, and it was a stacked field. So the number one ACO doubles team was there. Ty and Kevin were there. Cahill and Dylan were there.
Yep.
I mean, some seriously good doubles teams were there, and BG and Reef got third.
BG and Reef.
BG and Reef, baby, let's go. That was pretty awesome. I was really happy to see that. So all Texas finals, all Texas in the first through third, and
first through fourth.
First through fourth. That's right, because Dylan and Cahill were fourth. That's right. When the four last teams were left, they were all Texas guys, all local guys.
Yep.
And 3 out of 4 throwing bags I made, which made me feel good about myself. So that was cool. And then in singles, it was Mr. Gary Bearpaw, who, if you all haven't seen him play, you can go watch him. The dude throws a 10.5 for over 120 rounds. That's insane.
He's a machine.
That's insane.
He's a machine.
So he's got a get around game. Because I sat there and watched him play so much, the dude has a get around game. He's got left to right, right to left. He even has a roll bag that he throws it in down and back. So he's not throwing it during the game, but yeah, I think he's going to be pretty dangerous because he'll bang airmails all day long, and now he's got a bit of a get around game.
He's a machine.
Yeah, and then Sebastian Barger got second. It was his opportunity to win his first ACO Major. Almost got it. Didn't quite get it done though. And then Jacob Watley, third place.
which I'm for a minute there, I thought Jacob was going to win it all too, because he went on a streak of like 3 or 4 games in a row, throwing over a 10 in the loser bracket.
Yeah. And, Levi came up to me and he said, Watley's going to win. Watch. He's going to win this whole tournament. He's locked in right now. And you know what I think happened? He got into the losers bracket a little early and just lost steam, man. He got a little bit tired.
That easily could have been the case because the games he was winning, it was by no means short games.
No.
He beat me throwing like a 10 something to my 10 something over 23 rounds.
Yep.
Did the same 23 rounds with Levi.
Yep.
And then I think he had 22 rounds with Kevin.
Yeah.
And it's like the rounds were adding up. There's a lot of bags being thrown. So the mental focus is where I'd say it wears out first more than the physical.
Sure.
And it was a long day. We start off with doubles, 8 a.m.
Yeah, that's one of the things that ACO does differently than TCL. And I think maybe the same as ACL. I don't even know. But they do doubles and singles in the same day. So that's why they start off so damn early and try to get it moving because they're trying to get singles and doubles done the same day, which is a lot.
Right. And it's doubles before singles, which I know we're going to touch on that a little bit later. But
yeah,
doubles before singles is a different, little bit different aspect for us Texas players.
Yeah, cool. So that was ACO coming to AJ's. They're coming back. That's the plan. They'll be here again next year. And we also have an ACO regional that will be here on May 18th. And that will coincide with a combined SPR event. So look at that coming for May 18th if you're interested in getting some more ACO points. You can also get, if you buy a set of bags, you can get a ACO membership for this season and next season on bigdbags.com. It'll be a little drop down, and I'll email you a code that you can use to get yourself a membership for this year and next season, season 20. And I'm making a commitment to season 20 in ACO to have regionals here, and myself, I'm going to be playing in them. But that's looking ahead to next season. So, Grant, did you want to talk about what else is coming to AJ's?
Yep. Well, it's going to be this weekend. On Saturday, we're going to be having our first, or not our first, but we're in the progress of getting the Texas high school events kind of going. After messing with some stuff, me and Chad decided that we're going to go ahead and just do 18 years and younger, which is going to be like a youth movement instead of just high school players and high school teams. And we're just going to try to grow the sport amongst the kids and get more kids involved. And hopefully we can grow the high school deal to be pretty big. But the first event's going to be this weekend. It's a teams event, so 4 players per team, only 1 A or elite player per team. The rest has to be filled out with B or below. There's I think there's 6 teams signed up right now, so times 4, 24 players. And it's getting rolling. I'm excited to see the first game. We're going to do a multi-match, so it's going to be 2 singles games and 1 doubles game. And then based on how that goes, then it's going to be a crew cup, and then that's how you advanced based on how you win those games. So it's going to be a pretty cool format.
Yeah, it sounds great. And I'd like to put in a request for 40 and over. If we're going to do a kids, can we do just an old guys?
Well, there's
league
already
too?
I tell you, man, y'all's age group just wants, hey, whatever y'all can do to win, right?
Yeah, dude. I just need to be protected from the kids. But that's great. So that's this weekend at AJ's. And then also just in general, AJ's has events Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for sure. So if you're looking for something to do, look us up on Scoreholio, come down to AJ's. There's a good chance that it'll be live streamed as well. Also making some big improvements to the live stream. Pretty excited about that. I'm going to pull the trigger on some more equipment and software. So I think our production is going to be pretty top notch here, especially going into next season.
Excited for it.
Yeah, me too. All the static you hear in your ears doesn't go to the recording, by the way. Did you know that?
Well, it's been stressing me out over here.
Too.
Because I'm trying to get to stop. It just won't stop.
Yeah, we need a sponsorship so we can get some new microphones. Okay. All right, cool. Also coming up in the near future, one of our next episodes will be the TCL Signature Series draft. Sig 5 coming to Waco. It already sold out, I think. Is that right? Looks like it.
Yeah,
I went and looked at Scoreholio. It's ridiculous. You guys have like 1,000 people showing up to play cornhole.
Yes, it's going to be a big event, back closer to our central area. So there's going to be a lot of teams, a lot of good teams out there in Waco. We haven't been to Waco in a little bit, so that's going to be cool. And yeah, we're going to get ready to do the drafts. Me, you, JD, and Dan are going to redraft our teams. We're not recording it this time. I think we'll go out to dinner if we If we can, out to dinner and draft our teams there. If we can't, then we'll postpone the dinner and just do a little Zoom draft. And yeah, then we'll on Tuesday we'll have a little recap of the draft, what teams, what we're thinking about them, and go from there. But excited for it.
So that'll be the we'll have a draft well, I guess a draft episode where we'll go over who we drafted
I
and
think we'll
talk
just
about the
talk about the
teams.
teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely just talk about the singles and doubles teams and the overall teams. And then and it's going to be pretty cool. This signature series coming up, sold out, doing its thing. There's not going to be any pros in the building.
No pros.
They all got a big event coming up.
What's the big event?
I think it's a national.
Oh, so there's national at the same time as Sig 5?
Yes.
No pros.
No pros will be there, so it's going to give a chance for some new faces to get to the top of it.
Wait, there's been one of these before, right?
So there was one where there was an open. It was a pretty big open that had a teams event. So Logan and Sammy couldn't be there.
Yeah.
So we got to see Alex Ibarra.
That's right.
Get into the championship, and eventually the pro Justin Burton Jr. won. But
not this time. No pros.
We will have some new faces potentially get to the top, and you never know. There could be an old face that gets back to the top.
Maybe.
We'll see. But I'm expecting guys like Levi Haddock, Alex Ibarra, and even you can even sprinkle in the Kevin Meza, Chase Lester, myself. There's a few people there that they got the potential to win it all. It's who's going to get hot that day. Cahill, I think Cahill, Ty. There's some guys in there that can go win it all. Jacob Watley after that last week. Dude, it's Scott Beck, honestly, too. There's a lot of people that can make a run at this next SIG, so pretty excited for it. I think it's going to be an awesome showing. Hoping there's going to be a crowd around those finals with the new faces, and excited for it.
And we should probably cover this in the future, but let's just put it out there right now because we are getting some viewership outside of Texas. And just to say this out loud, the Signature Series events, in my opinion, are a destination event. It's an event that if you like cornhole or if you love cornhole, like most of us do, you should come to a TCL Signature Series. I get the question all the time, do I have to be from Texas? Like, can anybody play? Like, my understanding, next season especially, but even now, this last one sold out. But starting next season, you can come and play in a TCL Signature Series event. You don't have to be from Texas or be in Texas or whatever, and they're going to spell all that out for you. Maybe in the past you had to be from the region, and that was the confusion.
So I think what happened in the past is that they didn't have a tool like Scoreholio, so they were afraid of players coming in claiming to be a competitive level player, but actually being an advanced level player just to go in, sweep the field. And in order to protect their players, they stuck with hey, you got to be from our states, pretty much.
Yeah.
So now with Scoreholio being a tool and it being so widely used across the states, I think that TCL is going to move in a direction to allow players from other states to come in and play, some pros from other states to come in and play. I think they're going to adjust some of the rules that go along with some things. And yeah, I highly recommend it. It's a destination event, like you're saying.
It should be. You get to visit. The best ones, in my opinion, are the ones that are in Irving or Shreveport, because that's my opinion, right? Maybe there'll be bigger events or bigger venues. But dude, come to Dallas come to the Irving one. Irving?
Well, Irving's the best one for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. You get to stay an extra day or two, check out Dallas. There's lots of great things to check out and play in one of the biggest cornhole events you've been to.
And with the format they have, it's going to be a 3-day event, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You're going to get plenty of games with how they construct the rounders on top of having tier brackets. You're going to get plenty of games in, plenty of cornhole, hopefully just some sit and goes and stuff too, but it's a exciting, electric environment that you'll understand what I'm saying when you're there.
Yeah, you got to check it out. And I get that question so often, how do I come play in a TCL event? Well, sign up and show up is what it's going to be next season. Maybe there is
the member. You're just going to have to the same thing with ACO or ACL. You're just going to have to get a membership to go along with that.
Yeah, come play. So it's something everybody should check out. All right, cool. So now we're going to move to ACL Open number 13 and the Pro Shootout and all that good stuff. The results. My personal current cornhole hero, Jeremiah Ellis, wins the National Singles Final 4, defeating Gavin Cano, Adam Hissner, Braden Wilson. Right? Yep. I think head-to-head he beat Cano, but Ellis wins. As an Ellie myself, I was pretty happy to see that. Doubles, Tony Smith, Mark Richards, Ryan Smith, and Ryan Wiedenfield Alec Rion, Ethan Walker, Fisher Hamilton, and Gavin Cano. So Gavin was in both of these Final Four brackets. And then in the shootout singles, it was won by Ian Cripps, who I think is from Texas.
No, he's Louisiana.
Close enough. Yeah. And then look who also made it to the finals, Jeremiah Ellis. So Ellis won the singles, national singles, and was a finalist, second place in the shootout singles. Absolute beast. Definitely the number one player in the world.
I mean, the counter argument is that where was he at in doubles?
Well, I mean, isn't doubles, it kind of, who's his partner? Like, you can't really put it all on him when it's a doubles game.
Did he choose his partner?
Oh, so his decision-making on partners is an issue?
I mean, it goes into the conversation. It's kind of like when you talk about Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, the people around them.
I think you're reaching, bro.
I'm not reaching. You chose your partner. You're going to be held accountable. Why aren't you at the end of those doubles?
Fair enough. All right, and then for the Open that they had, our Texas boy Gavin Cano won the Open. Came in second to Jacob Gore. Braden Wilson, that's another Texan, right?
Yes.
That's 2 out of 3 in the Open singles. Good for them. You know, cruising down the list, I really don't see anybody else from Texas worth mentioning. All right, cool. Good for those guys. Good for ACL having a tournament down in New Orleans. Well, this is a Texas Cornhole show. We like all cornhole.
But yeah.
By all cornhole, I mean all kinds of cornhole. Every type of cornhole.
So the pro shootout and on top of a national, both of those like going in on the same thing. How do you feel about that? Do you like that? Do you dislike that?
I don't understand. I think it was like a scheduling logjam because they had a national, a pro shootout, and an open all on the same weekend. Was that your question?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that because I feel like that's big on hot for the weekend.
Who was hot? Yeah.
You know, but I mean, I guess it's just however they got to do it. There's been some scheduling stuff going on with ACL, huh?
I think
that's been a topic for a little bit now.
A bit of a logjam. You know, we've talked about it before on the show, and I remember, the ACL guy whose name I'm forgetting. No, Stacy's the head guy.
Trey.
Trey was saying that like it was negotiations with ESPN and they were waiting and trying to get all that figured out and ironed out. Then they got their contract and now they're hitting all their events. By the way, it seems like there's a heavy emphasis on digital content, not necessarily like broadcasted content or what would you call it? The TV show. There's TV and then there's like streaming online. I think that in the future they'll merge. They're all the same thing. They kind of are now, but the big broadcasts, the highly produced broadcasts are what everybody wants to be on. But there's definitely a lot of not as produced content that ACL is pumping out, right? Which I think all leagues can get in on. There's no reason you need an ESPN contract to have high quality streaming cornhole delivered straight to your screen.
Hey, Texas Cornhole Show, baby.
Texas Cornhole Show coming at you. It's going to get better. We're investing.
Sneaking up on you.
So, by the way, the payouts here in this ACL event were huge. Not huge, but bigger than what I've seen in the past. So, Ellis picked up $6K for winning that national singles. Tony Smith and Mark Richards, $5K apiece for doubles. Ian Cripps got $3,600 for the shootout. Hey, that's weird. The national singles got paid out more than the shootout.
I would expect that.
Was the big money. Is that right?
Yeah, but there's more pro shootouts than there is nationals. And national is supposed to be your highest level of event.
Well, they're paying out the most. So Ellis has won a national. And you said it before. Nationals are the big ones. That's the one that people care about.
I totally agree. I think the national is the biggest one.
Yeah, and then for the shootout doubles, $3,600. And then for the open, Gavin pulled down
let's go back up here. So you got Eric Davis, man. So what happened to BG bags this last? No one won anything with BG bags.
Ellis Cano.
That's second.
Oh, one.
What about
Ian Cripps? What
about Titan bags? Nothing. Oh, what?
What is Tony Smith and Mark Richards? They're lucky, right? Lucky. Ian Cripps, is he all cornhole?
Yeah.
Eric Davis and Matthew Sorrells.
No idea.
I don't know either. Hey, Sorrells is back.
Yeah, he's good.
Good for him.
I mean, not trying to poke at anything here, but those guys were having some back and forths on Addicted to Cornhole, and
Yeah.
it turns out neither one of them can do anything at the biggest event. What just happened?
What just happened, guys? Well, so it's funny you mentioned
Fire all your pros. They stuck.
addicted to cornhole. Okay. So one of the conversations that you and I thought about having on the show today was: is addicted to cornhole good or bad for cornhole?
And I'm on the position. It's good.
It's good.
It's good because at the end of the day, it's just cornhole conversation. As much as I don't like the negativity that exists on Addicted to Cornhole,
Yeah.
I think any publicity is good publicity for cornhole.
Yeah. And it's a place for people to go and talk about cornhole. And there's lots and lots of discussions.
There is. I mean, there's posts happening 24/7 all the time.
Yeah.
New companies promoting their businesses, guilty, right? So,
Yeah. I put a few out there myself.
And I hesitate every time because I'm thinking about who I think are all Ellies at this point in time. Just causing drama and issues.
Bro, I need my Believe chain. I bought a Believe chain, okay? I bought one. I ordered one. I did. I'm an Ellie, bro. I don't care. Call me names. Say I don't know, am I not manly? Because I'm a
got a name,
fan.
Professional Glazer.
Fine. D1 Glazer. That's fine, dude. That guy's awesome. I can't wait to watch him win more tournaments. And I wonder if he's going to like ride off into the sunset. Well, so speaking of addicted to cornhole, there was a post that I think you mentioned earlier that somebody said Gavin Cano is the #1 player in the world because he just won the open singles. And people seem to agree. I think that is like absurd. First of all, Gavin's great. He's from Texas, right? I should give him credit. He's a really, really good cornhole player. However, if you just look at the objective data, Ellis is way better. Ellis is clearly the #1 player in the world right now, #1 player. He's got the most points in pro singles. He's, I think, second in open singles, total points. He's won all the big tournaments. He just won. What was it? He won one of them, was second place in the other one. So I think money earned, he's the #1 guy. He's played Gavin Cano head to head and won recently. So the point I guess I'm trying to make is when people can get online, they're going to say ridiculous things. And that post, and forgive me, but saying that Cano is #1 in the world when you have Ellis proving that he actually is with objective data, it just goes to show that anybody can get on their computer and say anything, and it's going to get people fired up. There was like 300 comments on that thing.
It was crazy.
Or maybe 150. I don't know. There's a lot.
And I mean, I think you're going to have a lot of Texas people will obviously want to take the side of Gavin, but I think I agree with you. It's kind of hard to deny where Jeremiah Ellis is right now. It's kind of like saying someone else other than Mark Richards was #1 in previous years.
Right.
It's like, come on, what are we talking about?
Like, if anybody's glazing, it would be the people talking about Cano being the best because there's not objective data to back it up. Where there is with Jeremiah. But the other thing to say, Cano's really fun to watch.
He is.
Like, he's an exciting cornhole
He's
player.
got he can do all the stuff.
Yeah, and he does. You know, so that I can say kind of see where you're going there. Like, he's exciting to watch, he's fun to watch, he's super talented.
Would you say that Gavin Cano is more box office?
Well, no, because box office is about sales, and if you look at Ellis, he's got a fan page that's going off. ACL is promoting the hell out of that guy. Every time I look at ACL's content right now, Ellis is all over it. So he's the box office guy. He's the draw. He's the guy where you're looking at numbers and revenue and who's getting eyes and who wants, people want to see that guy, and ACL's giving it to him. So no. No. I just want to know how long it's going to last. Right? Because everybody.
Well, right now they got him moving a lot of furniture based off his Facebook.
That guy wants to quit his job so bad and just throw cornhole bags for the rest of his life. But here's my experience in sports in general. And I'd like to hear your feedback on this because I'm mostly golf. There's always a guy at the top for a while and then he falls. I mean, Tiger Woods was an exception. He was an outlier. And as soon as he kind of came down, stopped living the life he was living, he came back down to earth. But for a while there, he was untouchable, and he was untouchable for a long time, an unusually long amount of time. But the general rule of thumb is a guy gets on the top, hangs out there for a little bit, always comes back down to earth. How long can you stay there is the question. I think Matt Guy stayed at the top of cornhole for a long time, a couple of years, few years, I don't know. I don't know how many consecutive Kings of Cornhole he won, but I know it was a lot, and that was before ACL kind of came to prominence. But how long do you think he's going to last?
I mean, that totally depends on him. It's a one of those things where a hungry dog is going to fight harder than a slightly uncomfortable one. So, how much does Jeremiah Ellis still want it when he's sitting at the top and getting all these dollars entering his bank account? Are those guys underneath him going to be more hungry and be practicing a little bit harder? Going to be doing the more of the work to get up there to the top? They're shooting for it more. That's going what you're going. That's where you're going to learn something about Jeremiah Ellis is how bad you want it. You know, it's because it's going to be easy when you got kids, a wife, your job, you're stressed out. I mean, it can be easy to be like, okay, let me shelf practicing for a little bit. I'm the best anyways. But that's when you got someone else who's going to overtake you.
Yeah, have you ever heard of a guy named Marvelous Marvin Hagler?
No.
Changed his name to Marvelous so people would actually introduce him as Marvelous Marvin Hagler. He was a boxer, and he's credited with a phrase, "It's hard to get out of bed and go running at 5 in the morning when you're wearing silk pajamas."
It's pretty much the same thing. Yeah.
Right. And then, another thought that came to mind as you were kind of talking about that was there was something that people call the Tiger Woods effect. It was provable with actual data that the field, everybody else, right? There's Tiger Woods. Whenever Tiger Woods entered a tournament, the field played worse. You can go look at their stats, and they played worse. Why? Because they're like, I'm not going to win. Tiger's here, right? He's probably going to win. So I'm not.
I don't think that's the same with cornhole.
No, why not?
Because I don't think that anyone is way more talented than the other when you're talking about those pro events. I think everybody's got their it's just who gets hot and who can stay hot. Jeremiah Ellis is in that zone right now, but there's too many guys that know that they can beat Jeremiah Ellis. That's it's. I don't think that's going to be the same. I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah,
out.
I don't think it's there yet. He's going to have to. I mean, Tiger was winning every tournament that he entered, or one out of every other tournament. The statistic was ridiculous.
I think golf's a little bit different too, because I think you might have those golfers knowing that Tiger's in the field, be reaching for a couple shots, knowing they got to make up a stroke or two against Tiger.
Yeah,
and Tiger's just going to fucking kill it.
Yeah, and Ellis is not at Tiger Woods level yet.
No, you got to do it for a long time.
Yes, he was.
You got to do it for a long time.
And I forgot the year, but when Tiger had his first win at the Masters, he destroyed the field by like 10, 15 strokes or something. And Ellis hasn't done anything like that yet. They've been close games. Right. It's not like he's dominating.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody really has dominated cornhole that much. But you're more familiar than I have. Has anybody been that hard, like that?
No, when you look back, I don't think that there's anyone that's I think Matt Guy is the only one he can say has had multiple years of just dominance. But other than Matt Guy, I mean, Jamie Graham, he was at the top, but was he the best for a long period of time? Maybe for a year, maybe two. Ryan Windsor, maybe a year, maybe two. But these are guys that were around the top. I wouldn't say that they were at the peak.
Mark Richards?
I mean, yeah, a year or two, but
JBJ was up there for a little bit.
A year.
I've watched him play lately. We didn't talk about discussing this before the show, but JBJ is not the same as he was from what I've seen. It seems like he's come back down to earth, just like we were talking before. You get way up there, you're beating everybody, you're unbeatable, and then you kind of come back down to earth. It happens to everybody.
Yeah. So it's just a cycle, especially with something like cornhole, because it's such a new sport, and you're gonna have so many people chomping at your heels. If you don't keep that motivation up, if you don't keep that if you don't keep that work ethic up, people are going to catch you, surpass you. Then it's going to fall for a little bit. You're going to fall a couple tiers. You're not going to just be like, I'm the best, and maybe I'm second through fourth, through fifth. No, you go from being the best to maybe he's top 10. That's how it works.
You come back down to earth. And I'm super curious. Comment down below. How long do you think Ellis is going to stay on top? He's on top right now. I think that's undeniable. How long is he going to stay there? I'm going to say he's going to make a run to the end of the year, and we'll see what happens next season. Because here's what I think that he's going to realize that you can't make enough money throwing bags. And he's
man. I mean, just made damn near 10 grand in a weekend.
But health insurance is expensive. So I don't think he's going to be able to walk away from his job. He's got a family to support.
Okay, so let's say he's just, and I have no idea. Let's say he's making $60,000 a year.
UPS driver?
I have no idea. I have zero idea.
I'm going to say 6 figures all in, but that's including health insurance. So you have to look at equivalent, right? So there's cash in pocket, but if he goes and works on his own and he becomes basically an independent contractor and a professional cornhole player, he's going to have to buy insurance, like health insurance for his family. That shit's expensive. So you got to add that to whatever he's making. You know what I'm saying? So if he's making like 80,
Well, that's what I was getting at. Is that
yeah,
he's making his base job salary, and
yeah,
then he's getting extra 10 grand bonuses from these weekends he's going out and doing. I mean, it's why would you walk away from the consistency if you're already working your job and keeping that consistency paycheck,
yeah,
the savings, all the 401k, all the stuff, right? Because they got benefits over there.
yeah, for
Where he
sure.
does.
Oh yeah,
So
retirement accounts.
you're keeping all of that, and I can go out and play cornhole on the weekends and go get an extra 2 to 10k in my pocket.
So you're saying why would he not continue to do that?
Why wouldn't he? Why would he step away from his job just to go play for the money?
Yeah, I think he's gonna realize it's not an option. And dude, how tiring has it got to be to go to these big events all weekend and then Monday strap into a UPS truck and start delivering furniture? Like he's fucking exhausted.
I mean,
Sorry for cussing.
he's probably got a
Put the kids to
nice.
sleep.
He's probably bought himself a nice seat cushion with all the money he's winning,
Dude.
and he's getting over it. But
Well, here's my theory. Okay, I'm gonna put it out there. He's gonna take a break from cornhole because he's gonna realize how much hard work it is. How like when is the man resting?
do you think there's guys on his route that know who he is, that he's delivering packages? That would be awesome.
Like, could you imagine looking at your Nest Cam and seeing the UPS guy lug your IKEA furniture?
Jeremiah.
And it's Jeremiah Ellis.
I'll leave a note next time on my door. Please sign this.
Yeah, right. The most famous cornhole guy in the world right now is just out there delivering boxes. But I think that just goes to show that cornhole hasn't gotten there yet. As being a professional cornhole player is just not enough money to support a family. It's just not. Right. Hopefully we'll get there one day. That'd be great for everybody involved.
Meanwhile, we got 7.5s up wanting to get paid.
Meanwhile, don't get me started, bro. Don't even get me started. All right, cool. So the final point that we're going to talk about today kind of came up in discussion between us, and I was having a talk with somebody else. Is cornhole a team sport or is it an individual sport? Like, what would you call it? A team sport or an individual sport?
I would say, why can't it be both?
Well, that's not. No, you got to pick one.
So this is you put me in a hard spot here because I don't want to take the aspect of, oh, I just came off some doubles wins. I'm gonna say doubles. That's not.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. So answer the question the way you want it to. It can be both. Go ahead.
I think it can be both.
Okay.
But I would say that cornhole started as a backyard game, a party game, where played in teams. No one was whipping out cornhole boards to play singles. People were playing teams.
So based on its origin,
cornhole is a doubles game, and then it turned into a singles game. You're seeing, I think even then you don't see as many singles tournaments as you do doubles. When you go look at cornhole tournaments, it's mostly doubles.
It's mostly doubles. So that would say, well, it's a team sport then, right? Because mostly doubles. But the problem is that nobody can come throw the bag for you. When you throw the bag, it's 100% you, right? Your partner can tell you what's going on the board.
Yeah, but I feel like that's a different argument than is it team sport or a double sport? And you're talking about more accountability than this is what the short sport should be, maybe.
Well, I guess it's the definition of what does a team sport mean, right? A team sport, in my mind, would be like somebody throws me the ball, I throw the ball back to them, right? A relay race even, I hand it off to a guy, he goes and races. So it matters. Well, actually, relay race would be more like not a team sport. But the point is that if somebody else on the team, like if you and I are a doubles team, you can't throw my bag. You can't do anything to affect what my bag is going to do. All you can do is give me advice, but the crowd can do that, so that doesn't really count. So that's why I would say it's more of an individual sport, and it's just an individual sport. And if you look at some of the leagues, like for example, ACO puts the most emphasis on singles and not doubles, right?
But other leagues, I feel like put a lot, if not more, emphasis on team or doubles than they do singles.
100%. Like TCL, the big show, the showdown is always doubles.
ACL, look at them in the direction they're moving with teams.
Good point. And I like that teams idea. I really do.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's just
it's kind of fun to watch.
I guess for ACL, for me right now, it's confusing because there's so many directions they're going in.
Yeah.
It's like they're hoping that one sticks. And that's probably what they're doing.
Well,
but you got to pay attention to so many different things where it's not just, hey, this is my, because you have your team's event, but I honestly think that your singles and doubles and stuff, that kind of stuff should contribute towards your team stuff. As if maybe points for your standings or
Oh, I hear what you're
differences.
saying.
I mean, something.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's probably nitpicking, but I just feel like there's so many different there's so many separations and everything. When you look at other sports leagues, it's not like that.
You can incorporate it in some way, like who gets the first bag or who gets to, I guess, first bag, right? Like if you have more overall points in the league, then your team would get the first bag. Something like some way to
It's just
incorporate it.
I don't even think it needs to be something like that, but I think there just needs to be like, hey, this is how based off of your team standings and then what your individual players have earned you in points. This can move you to certain areas. Something. I mean, I'm not giving them the idea. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
hey, think about it.
Well, I did see something that like Thursday nights are the team night now. They're on CBS Sports, ACL teams, you can watch it. That's what I think I saw something on social media today about that. So that's kind of cool. Like Monday Night Football is the vibe I got on the post. Like Thursday night is going to be Cornhole on TV teams event.
And I'm sure you get more eyes by having more players involved in that kind of stuff too.
Just like Tuesday night is a Texas Cornhole show.
See, yeah.
Yeah.
That you try to leave a week on.
You.
Me?
We should go back and see who commentates more on Tuesday nights. You think it's you?
I think, what have you done for me lately is what I think.
No.
This past week, yeah, you got left on your own. 2 to 3.
And I pulled it off. I did it to the bitter end.
2 or 3 weeks prior, those 2 to 3 weeks, it was just me.
Yeah. I think Grant's better at commentating than me. If you agree, comment below. I like your input and your insight on shot choices, what people should have done. I think it's very informative, entertaining.
I think we have 2 different styles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, you did a pretty good job on that. I think you have more stamina as a commentator than I do. Because I get lullabied.
Keto.
And I will be the first one to be like, hey, what are we doing when I see threes getting thrown? I'll be the first one to be like, hey, what's going on here?
That's what's happening tonight because it's a Switcholio.
Excited for it. But yeah, I mean, that's what we got going on right now. You going to play with BG on Thursday?
Oh, I got to talk to my wife.
Okay. Because I'm your first game if you are. So you might want to back out.
Who's your partner?
Trey Sparks. We're 21-4.
And that's an A.
And he lost 3 of those.
Trey's a B?
Yeah.
Well, am I playing with BG though? I didn't look back at the responses. I got that.
Right now?
I'm a B, bro. Yeah. Oh wait, but if I show up, my stats are going to show up in TCL stats.
Yeah, they'll put you in there. Your Scoreholio account.
Dude. Me and BG could beat you in
no.
Trey.
The voice of TCL, and I've been a machine at NTX, a machine, 1.53 DPR.
Yeah, but all right, cool. Well, hey everybody, that's it for us. Grant, you want to sign us off or say anything before we go?
Hey, it was a pretty cool ACO event this past weekend. Glad the cheat code and I could pull it off. Be on the lookout for some new colors of the Big D Texas sleeve hoodie coming out.
That's right. Yeah, that was actually a good idea. Yeah, Grant looked good in that hoodie.
I felt good in that hoodie. The hood, people were commenting about the hood thing. The hood, every time I went and picked down bags, would come over here. So every time I put it up, it would just come right back. So I just left it alone after a while.
I thought that was your thing with the hoodie, just over on the left shoulder.
No, it was forced upon me because I'm not going to fix something multiple times. It's just not me. I don't make my bed every day. That's like how I view the hood. It's like if the problem keeps on popping up, I'm not going to do it every time.
Yeah.
But appreciate all y'all watching. We're growing the show, man.
Yeah.
We're growing the show.
We're almost at 750 subscribers. Let's go.
All right. It's just a game.